devolving into this abyss of madness where we think we have to get involved in every conflict. And I'm telling you, this is the military-industrial complex that's behind this. They have wanted war with Syria forever. Forever. We can go back into the John McCain archives and the Lindsey Graham archives, and even Nancy Pelosi and Hillary Clinton and Barack Hussein Obama. Go back to George Bush. Syria was always on the hit list. They took out the little countries first, the easy ones. They screwed up in Iraq. They said, yeah, that was a little too big for us. And we can't even get that one right. Iraq is disintegrated into this Iranian stronghold now. We used to have a counter to Iran. It was called Saddam Hussein. Nobody liked him, so they wanted to get rid of him. Nobody liked Gaddafi, so they got rid of him. Nobody likes Assad, and they want to get rid of him. Yet, these are the guys that keep the countries in order. Maybe, just maybe, before I go to break here, maybe those areas need a little stronger hand. Whether we like it or not, maybe they need a little stronger hand to keep them from descending into chaos. And all we have done since Bill Clinton era, since George H.W. Bush, is destabilize the entire Middle East. And we have caused all the problems in that part of the world. We'll be right back. Where do you think you're going?
The John Lebang Show will be right back.
So grab a beer and a smoke and sit your butt back down. Stay right here. Pane in the Glass, commercial and residential window cleaning for a beautiful sparkling shine that's crystal clear. Call Pane in the Glass Window Cleaning. You can find them on Facebook at Pane in the Glass.
If you want to contact the John Lebang Show, feel free to send an email to jlebang@live.com. And if you're on Twitter, look him up at John Lebang. And don't forget to go to his Facebook page at The John Lebang Show. Banger.
In the councils
Now,
of government,
John.
we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic processes. We should take nothing for granted. Only an alert and knowledgeable citizenry can compel the proper meshing of the huge industrial and military machinery of defense with our peaceful methods and goals, so that security and liberty may prosper together.
I'm just putting it all together for you, ladies and gentlemen, because there's a lot of people out there that are not seeing all the pieces of the puzzle. John Bolton has only been back for a few weeks, and all this is happening. John Bolton, the warmonger. See, America is supposed to be above all this other stuff, and that the rest of the countries play around, all this petty stuff that they do. America is supposed to be an exceptional country, and we're complaining about Syria having chemical weapons. We got mad because supposedly Iran had chemical weapons, yet they don't talk about that. We have our own chemical weapons, and if we were desperate enough, we would use them. Why would you have a chemical weapon in your stockpile if you didn't intend to use it for one reason or another? It's the same with nukes. There's reasons we have nukes. One day we might have to use one. Or at least that's what the powers that be think. Because we've caused the problem in the Middle East. We went there, we liked their oil, so we taught them how to use their oil, how to suck it out of the ground. We made money off it, they made money off of it. Unlike our country, which you may not like rich people, but they passed that down along the way we made some money off that oil along the way. Your gas stations and any other thing that deals with oil that people make products with that they make money on. Out in the Middle East, they have a different mindset. And I know people you can't talk about that. That's a taboo subject. People having different mindsets, that people are actually different because they come from different places. They may have a heart and a liver. Well, some of them might not have a heart. We don't know. So we go out there and we teach them how to suck up oil. Their rich guys get really rich. Screw the poor people totally. The heck with them. That's because they treat people differently out there. Women aren't treated the same. It's funny because the women out here are treated great comparatively, and we have more problems with with women being upset of how they're treated here than you hear about in those countries.
What difference at this point does it make?
It's just an upside down, backwards world. So we teach them how to drill oil. They make money. Then they start funding things because they didn't like us anyways. They hated us. But we taught them how to do things. They'll use us. But that doesn't mean they like you. And we've seen throughout history that even though people learn things from other people, they were deposed one way or the other. And that's what's happening. And now we're stuck in a situation that we created years ago. We should have just took the oil and said the heck with them. Let's not leave out that the military-industrial complex just got a raise from the United States government, and they are fully ready to go and spend that money. Notice how close these things. We needed money. We need to strengthen our military. Why do we need to strengthen it? They don't tell us exactly. We're weak. First chance we get, we go and launch a bunch of stuff. Not because we're weak, because we're the best. We're the best. It's like nobody puts these things together. John Bolton, we weren't going to mess with Syria. All of a sudden, John Bolton's there, a chemical attack happens, and we're ready to go again. Let's fight Syria. Let's bomb them. Who cares if we killed a couple hundred Russians earlier? And Russia's probably not too happy in secret. And there has probably been some repercussions. If we look through the news and we saw maybe an accidental helicopter crash or something like that, and it was very close to Russian territory, you can assume whatever you want there. But, Russian was KGB. And Russia doesn't like to be embarrassed and pushed around. It's a crazy world. It's a crazy world. And I'm so flustered at the moment because this is easy to predict. It's all on how Putin reacts now. And Putin, I don't think, is going to want to look weak. So we got to wait for Vladimir Putin's reaction, because Syria doesn't really pose a threat to us. They can't attack us. They're busy with their own civil war. They have not declared war on us. They can't do... There was no action that Syria could do to the United States outside of some terrorist attack. And then how could we know where it came from at that point? We're lucky they didn't pull that one on us. We're lucky that they just pulled a chemical attack in Syria where nobody can prove anything. Nobody can prove anything. As you can tell, I don't prescribe to the mainstream media's perspective on this and the propaganda being bantied about by the administration and the intelligence agencies. And go figure, we're just going to touch on the United Kingdom for a moment. Theresa May out there, she, without any approval from Parliament because they were on some kind of vacation, she just goes ahead and authorizes this. Trump authorizes this without congressional approval. You see what's going on here? They were going to do this regardless. They don't care what the Parliament thought in the United Kingdom. They don't care what the Congress thinks here. We got Rand Paul. He's the only one with any sanity over this, or there are others, but he's like the main one. When it comes to war, Rand Paul is the most sane. He wants us not to get involved in foreign wars and only get involved if somebody attacks us. Here we go again. Last time we were physically attacked was a terrorist group, supposedly Al-Qaeda, I don't know, Taliban, Osama bin Laden. Apparently he wasn't at any of the events. And I'm not trying to say I like Putin or Assad or Osama. I hate these guys. They're just more scumbags. The world's filled with scumbags. But we have a bunch of Saudis who attacked the U.S. on 9/11. And instead of retaliating against Saudi Arabia, some kind of ally, that's what we're being told, we go attack Afghanistan and the Taliban because they're harboring Al-Qaeda or something like that. Then we go to Iraq because there's WMDs and terrorists there. Couldn't find many terrorists there. Couldn't find WMDs there. At least not until Saddam was gone and then terrorists started showing up. We leave, it gets worse. Then it moves up into Libya. Then it goes to Egypt. And then in Syria. You see what's happening? It's a big domino effect. A big, giant domino effect. And whether it was intentional or somebody in the very beginning, we'll go back to George H.W. Bush, the ex-CIA man. He was the Vladimir Putin of the U.S. because Putin, the leader of the country of Russia, is KGB. So you had KGB man running Russia now. Back then, we had CIA man running the United States government. Of course, some people think the CIA is because they're American is more credible, more reliable of a source because they're supposedly our guys than the KGB, because the KGB is our enemy, which KGB is the enemy of a lot of people. So is the CIA. Lots and lots and lots of enemies out there, folks, and nobody trying to be friends. It's a shame. We got to get on out of here for the first hour, 60 minutes down the drain. Thank you for joining me for this, little high blood pressured hour. I'll try to mellow it out a little bit, and we're going to try to have a little fun. If things develop, we may not be able to do that, but we're going to try to have a little fun in this week's second hour because we are on our 4th anniversary. I mean, this is steady now. 4 years have gone by that the John Lebang Show has been producing shows week in and week out. We've been doing the show for 6 years. But 4 years where it's been on the radio, and that's the starting point of where we are today, which is we're on nearly 40 stations. We're in 4 countries. We're played every single day of the week at almost every hour, depending on what station you're listening to. It's an amazing thing. We're going to talk about all that type of stuff, have a little fun, and hopefully no breaking news comes in to ruin all that in the second hour. So please stay tuned. Check your local listings for times and days. This is John Lebang. Don't forget to go to my website. That's www.jlebang.com. And until the vibrations of my vocal cords reach your ears again, and for some of you that's next hour, this is John Lebang signing off from the Banger Studios.
3, 2, 1. We have liftoff. Tune in again next week. Same time, same space, same station.